What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. So we're going to discuss the Scott D'Amore situation about him being let go from TNA. We're going to talk about that primarily, and I'm going to also do a little mini review of TNA Impact from February the 8th, 2024. I'm going to do that first before we talk about the Scott D'Amore situation. It's not going to be long because nothing happened on the show. It was just all filler, and it was just a waste of 2 hours, if we're being honest. So, I'm just going to go over the results. So, Chris Sabin, he defeated John Skyler. Tasha Steelz defeated Zaya Brookside. The Ace and Bay Connection, they were beaten down by the Grizzled Young Veterans. Zachary Wentz defeated Mike Bailey. Then Trent Seven, post-match, he made the save to save Mike Bailey from a Rascals beatdown. Steve Macklin, he got involved, and then Nick Nemeth makes a save for both Mike Bailey and Trent Seven. Rhino, he cut a fiery, passionate promo about Crazy Steve and how he's going to give him a fucking gore. Trinity and Jordan Grace, they defeated Dizelle Shaw and company. Khan, he destroyed two jobbers, and then post-match, PCO and Khan got into a brawl. Josh Alexander defeated Alan Angels. Main event, Eddie Edwards versus Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley defeated Eddie Edwards. And then post-match, Kushida and Kevin Knight, they made the save for Alex Shelley. And that was the show. A waste of 2 hours, really. The only exciting thing that happened was the ABC beatdown. And then also Simon Gotch, he returned to take out Josh Alexander. So that was it. So nothing really to talk about, nothing really to write home about. So now that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the Scott D'Amore news. So basically, Scott D'Amore was let go. He was terminated from his position as former TNA president. And they already have a guy in charge who already took his position. His name is Anthony Cizzoni or Cologne or whatever. Ciccione. So that's going to be the new guy taking over, Anthony Ciccone. So that's fine there. And Scott D'Amore was let go on Wednesday, on February the 7th. And so that happened around, I want to say between 12 and 1 that happened. So around lunchtime. And then it's now been revealed from Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, that what had happened was the head of Anthem, which is ran by Lynn Asper, it was said that him and Scott, they came to a crossroads of sorts when it came to how TNA wrestling should operate going forward. So that's fine. And then basically the article continues on by saying that sometime within the last few weeks, Scott D'Amore approached Anthem with an offer to buy TNA Wrestling from Anthem. Scott D'Amore backed his offer with a quote-unquote letter with a major banking institution. Despite this, Anthem still turned down Scott D'Amore's offer. And then Mike Johnson states that Scott D'Amore was made aware of the change coming to TNA Wrestling within the last week and a half and was not caught off guard by Anthem's decision. And then it says that several members of the roster have offered praise and support for Scott D'Amore on social media over the past 24 hours. So that's fine. Now, I know that the internet has really just lost its shit for that, but it sucks that Scott D'Amore got fired, but it really had to happen. Scott D'Amore he made some terrible booking decisions. All right? Scott D'Amore, the reason why I complained so much in my reviews a lot was because Scott D'Amore was pushing guys that weren't over, or guys that really should be producers, like Eddie Edwards, like Moose, like Brian Myers, Frankie Kazarian, Mike Bailey, Josh Alexander, guys like that. So many people on that roster are not over. And that's why TNA is really in third place. Like, they're only in third place because of their name only. And that's it. And I get it. But I think Scott D'Amore being let go, it does suck. And it seems like Scott had goodwill for the company. But basically, this essentially had to happen. And I think TNA, they want to be bigger and better. And I think that them letting Scott D'Amore go is going to be a blessing in disguise. And for the talent who want to, be let go, I hope that Anthem lets them go. That they let TNA go and rebuild it. That way they can completely rebuild that entire roster. And if that means losing guys like Eddie Edwards and Moose and Brian Myers, Frankie Kazarian, Eric Young, Giselle Shaw, and so many others, then so be it. So be it. You know what I'm saying? There's far too many wrestlers out here that don't get a chance to go to WWE or AEW that could sign with TNA and really be used properly, right? Like, people are already shitting on the situation, saying that, he's going to ruin TNA and TNA's done for. It's like, no, that's a lie. How is TNA done for? How is TNA done for? Scott D'Amore's vision really hurt TNA. I get that he brought it from the ashes, but Scott D'Amore really wasn't doing much of anything. He really wasn't. All he was doing was just pushing his friends. That's all he was doing. And that's one of the major issues and problems that I have, is that they were pushing guys and bringing in guys and girls that were not over, when you can't really be doing that. And really and truthfully, a lot of people didn't take TNA seriously because of the fact of the matter is they kept losing talent like crazy. They kept on bringing in talent that weren't over. And they kept on, like, for me, they couldn't even secure Trinity. They couldn't lock her into a 3-year deal. And that's, to me, that's sad. That's sad. Trinity should still be an Impact. But she's going to be fine in WWE for sure. But, she'll be fine. I know Jordynne Grace said that she's thinking about leaving. That's fine. To me, Jordynne Grace deserves better. Jordynne Grace deserves to really be in WWE or AEW. I'm serious. Jordynne Grace is that damn good. She's that damn good to be either in WWE or AEW. She deserves to be on that big platform. She deserves that. So I think, to me, that this is a blessing in disguise, and I think it's going to all work out. Hopefully, Anthony Sazzone, hopefully he can get around wrestlers and people who know what they're doing and listen to the wrestlers that, want the best for TNA. And if that means, bringing in people who have been released and stuff, bringing those guys in, then that's fine, So I wish the people would kind of, calm down. This is great. This is great. Scott D'Amore is not going to be unemployed for long. Scott D'Amore will probably land on his feet within the next month or two. I guarantee you. He'll either be getting a phone call from WWE or AEW because he has friends in both promotions. I wouldn't mind Scott D'Amore being in WWE over AEW, for being honest. If he goes to AEW, he needs to really take over Ring of Honor and, run Ring of Honor. Or if he wants, he could run both Ring of Honor and Collision and make those shows watchable. That's what I would do if I was Scott D'Amore on the AEW side. If he goes to WWE, they'll put him in NXT, and he'll be used handsomely well there. If we're being honest, he'll do well in NXT. Because he's got Abyss there, Jeremy Borash is there, so he'll be fine in WWE. He'll be fine in either company he decides to go with, whether it's WWE or AEW. He'll be fine. And if the talent want to follow him, let them. That's the way I look at it. If the talent want to follow them, let them. I think what they should do is just finish out No Surrender and then work out something for Rebellion. And then after that, just come out and just say, hey, look, what we're going to do is we're going to shut down TNA for three to 4 months, and we're going to completely do an entire U-Haul of everything, and we'll be back in 3 to 4 months, and we're just going to revamp and rebuild everything. We're going to have new talent, just new everything. And I think that's really what they should do. Because I hate to say it, TNA has just been stale. Impact has just been stale for so long. And the thing that killed Impact, really, now TNA, was the fact of the matter is that it didn't have an identity. It never really had an identity. And just going back to TNA really isn't going to do anything because it's just in name only. So it's not really going to change any damn thing at all. Like I say, for example, this past Impact was awful. This past TNA was awful. TNA from February the 8th, that was awful. That was an awful show. That was a waste of fucking 2 hours. It was a waste. Nothing really happened. Nothing. And I get talent was blindsided and whatnot and everything else. I understand that. That's understandable. But at the same time, Anthem probably wants to make money with TNA. They really want to put money within the organization. And my question is, how much was Scott D'Amore wanting to purchase Impact for? Was it $3 million, $4 million, $5 million? What was it? I don't know. I'm very, very interested in hearing about that. But I'll leave a link to the article and whatnot. I wish Scott the best in his future endeavors. I think he'll land on his feet very, very soon. Hopefully within the next month or two. And then hopefully maybe in the next month or two, we'll also get an interview about what really went down and what happened. I'm pretty sure that will happen and occur. But what did you guys think about this Scott D'Amore situation? Let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.